This chapter just goes to show you that no matter how strong someone thinks they are, there's always somebody out there that's that much stronger. Toriko, Gourmet number 102, fighting time. Oh, I love it when I'm right. Well, hello, my brothers and sisters of the Nerd Nation. I, as always, am Jim, here to bring you another review on the awesome, appetite-inducing, thrill-a-minute, fun-filled, sometimes very funny tale of Toriko. Our last chapter, of course, saw us with us being introduced to the president of Toriko Ichiryu. And really at the end of it, after him talking to Toriko a little bit about, going after the ingredient god, and how himself, the head of Gourmet Corp, and Knocking Master Jiro were three of Akasha's disciples. So that was obviously a pretty big reveal, pretty big bombshell for me, because of the fact that now we know that they're hundreds, if not thousands of years old, and certainly that they have a lot of inside track information on what previously was just kind of, something that was mentioned in these stories of lore. Back in the day, there was this guy, this Akasha, and he found, and you thought, because it was several hundred years ago, that again, it was just sort of, there was nobody alive that could really talk about it. It was just, that's what I thought. So, anyways, though, the chapter ended off with Toriko basically getting pretty smart mouth with this old man, calling him an old and flabby guy. And then he doesn't, that he's retired and he's soft and all this other stuff. And then at the end, he was like, "Yeah, come at me, bro." So I thought that was pretty cool. I actually really like this guy so far. That's where the chapter left off. That's right where this one picks up. And honestly, just as I predicted when I was reading the last chapter, and I think I said it in my review, I feel like Toriko just bit off a lot more than he can chew over here. I feel like this dude is, I feel like he's on some next level shit, and Toriko just isn't there yet, right? So, and you can see that immediately. He winds up going in first. He goes and he starts doing this. He's like skips across the water. I don't know if he thinks he's like fast Jesus. He just hops, skips across the water. And Toriko's like in this little rowboat, like, this little raft paddling. He's like, "Stop skipping," So he goes over to this area, and they say, "Oh, this should be big enough." And it's like this floating island, or wherever they can fight on, I guess. That's what I'm assuming it's for. And he says, "All right, Toriko, don't hold back at all, So Toriko winds up coming at him with everything, First he goes and he does this throwing forks, and he just brushes it off like it's nothing. He's like, "Oh," or knives, that's what it was. And he's like, "Oh, knives, you can throw knives. Great, you can join the circus." And I'm just like, and Toriko's like, "What, this isn't a joke." And then Toriko's new arm that regrew and whatnot, he can power that bad boy up, and he can do a 13-fold Kugi punch, or spiked punch, instead of the 10-fold that he was rocking before he kind of powered up there. And that has no effect. It just kind of tickles him. He's like, "What?" He's like, "Really? It doesn't even hurt, And he's like, "Nope, sorry, not gonna happen." So Toriko's like, "Okay, I'm gonna use my strongest move. It takes a lot of power and the accuracy. It takes a lot of strength, but the accuracy's not great." And he's, boom! He does a leg fork. Boom! Does a leg knife. This guy goes and blocks his shit like it's nothing. Like it's absolutely nothing, right? And prior to this whole fight start, it was funny because when Toriko finally paddled over there, he's like, "What took you so long?" And he's like, "I had to paddle over. You were skipping." He goes, "Well, I could teach you how to do that, to skip on the water." And Toriko's like, "No, it's fine. It'd just be a waste of time, They get into this fight. They're going completely one-sided, man. This dude is just, Ichiryu is just, he's on another level, man. And a level that I haven't seen yet, And, or I don't know about yet, I guess. And just kind of, really, like I said, it's a funny chapter because you see Toriko that even as strong as he has gotten, as strong as he's become over these last 100 or so chapters, he's still nothing compared. He's like a twinkle in the eye compared to a guy like this that's clearly lived for hundreds, if not thousands of years. So anyway, he winds up going and catching one of Toriko's. Toriko tries to come at him. He grabs his hand, I think with one finger, I think it is, and just boom, punches him. Toriko goes flying. He says, "Oh, what does he say? I'm gonna give you a job, or I'm gonna do something, this and that." And he's like, oh, that's what it was, because Toriko threw everything at him, and he said, "Am I ready for the gourmet world now?" And he was explaining, "No, you're not. The gourmet world, strength and speed and strength, like in your overall skill, yes, you have some great skill. But when you were in ice hell, did your breath turn white?" And he says, "Well, yeah, of course, it was cold." And he says, "Oh, you wouldn't survive in the gourmet world." And Toriko's like, "What do you mean? Everybody's breath turns white in the cold." And he goes, "No, that's what you don't get. The gourmet world, it's not just the creatures and the other beasts and the people or whatever that you'll fight over there. It's, you know, that you'll encounter. It's the actual climate. It's everything that, and you have to be able to be adaptable to where you can adapt to any type of climate, you know. And Toriko he thinks he's obviously not up to the challenge yet, so I'm assuming that this is going to be some sort of, you know, training or whatever, if you will, because he winds up telling him that he's going to go and he's going to get this ozone grass that grows 10,000 meters above the planet, you know, up in the clouds and this and that, and that's going to be his next thing. But when he goes and jacks up Toriko, right, he goes in here, he goes, you did good, and as a reward, I'll teach you how to skip on water. Toriko's body skips on the water all the way back, all the way home. And I was just laughing, thinking, oh man, that's what happens. That's what happens when you run your mouth off, you know. I like Toriko, but that was a punk-ass thing to say. You're going to go and say that to this guy. This, you know, you're old and you're flat, you're slow, you know. That's having a little bit of a, it's having a little too big for your britches there. And he taught him, he brought him right back down to earth and put him in his place. He said, son, you don't know who you're fucking with, you know, and I really like that. But anyway, we wind up finding out, and then at the end of it, winds up telling us, you know, it gives us the cool little, like, you know, panel that says gourmet number, whatever one that we're going here for, whatever meal, I guess it is. I forget what number it is my point. Here we go. Yeah, menu number 7, or menu number 7, it says ozone grass. So we know that we're going for this stuff. This is going to be the next story arc, or I guess we're in the next story arc. And I'm certainly looking forward to seeing it. So this guy Ichiryu, though, just he's on some next level shit, man. I like this guy, and that actually leads into my chapter question over here, brothers and sisters. Now that we know a little bit more about Ichiryu, not a ton, I guess, not a ton, but really, what are your thoughts on Ichiryu and just the power that he must possess to be able to just pretty much shrug off and stop every attack that everything Toriko threw at him, his whole moveset, none of it even phased him. You know, and I just want to know what your thoughts are on that power level gap between him and between him and Toriko, because it's a huge gap. So let me know what your answer to that question is in the comments down below. Feel free to hit the thumbs up, the like button if you should think that I deserve it, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. We look forward to catching all of you hungry little fellas in the next one, Nation. Thank you for watching. Now go get a snack and then come subscribe to my other channels.